Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are continuing on our Boeing theme, finally, after a bit of a detour, and we'll be flying the PMDG B737-800. No winglet model, or sharklet, or whatever they're called. I think winglet, right? So, we are gonna be flying with a virtual airline today, Metro Air, which is a really neat virtual airline, but it's quite strict in terms of certain things, such as timing when departing, so we'll have to keep some pace. Won't be talking that much, but as you can see, beautiful aircraft on the outside, and a nice livery as well. They have a nice ACAR system, which I can also mention, so you can see here. And as you can see with our system, through these ACARs, is that we're going to be flying from Phoenix to Las Vegas. So a short flight, a short hop. And what else? As you can see, we also have some dirt on the wings. This is not included in the virtual airline livery package, but it is included in a separate one that I was able to find online. So I thought that would be cool to make it look a bit gritty. I'm not sure though I've ever seen that much rust on an airplane. They do have one that's just like those kind of stains, the dark stains. So that one might be a bit more realistic. But I thought, why not? If it's a non-winglet version, it's probably an old version. You don't see it that often. I think some airlines had it, like SAS, but it's not that common. So, but yeah, what else? We're flying from Phoenix to Las Vegas. They're both flight beam airports, I think. We have no, we don't have any through Earth, but we do have Nevada photoreal from Mega Scenery, together with some Autogen from Living Airports, and then we have Living Airports photoreal and Autogen for Arizona. Some mismatch here around the Phoenix airport, which I haven't been able to sort yet with exclusions. I'll have to have a look at that, but should be possible to fix, so we can get a nice, at some point, a nice mesh with the different add-on sceneries. And let's see, our departure is scheduled in 30 minutes, so better get going actually. And just before I jump in and really get going, like I said, the exterior is with the PMDG is really good. The NG XU is a super beautiful aircraft. I have no negative remarks in that regard. Maybe a bit that they don't have the most nice cabin, but it's, you know, sufficient for P3D purposes. I mean, there could be nothing at all, right? So but I mean, the textures, everything is just fabulous. Beautiful aircraft. And to also top that, I do have the immersion parallel 42 immersion package for the 737. So we do have some nice effects as well. I'm not sure we'll be able to see it because you will see it mainly from the outside. Some effects you'll notice from the inside as well when you go through clouds and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So not too much. Not too much else in that regard. At least not too much else that you notice from the cockpit, so to speak. And let me see, we're looking like we're a bit badly positioned. I'm just gonna move the aircraft just a tiny bit. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna move it a bit like this. There we go. So we're a bit more aligned with the jetway. And there we go. I think we're now ready to get started. I don't think I've loaded the payload and that sort of stuff, but I'm gonna start the batteries first. Nice sounds. I'm seeing my FMC come online as well, my hardware one, which also works with the PMDG. Let's see now. I tried to start the ground power, and we got a bit of a hiccup there. Could be because I was moving this aircraft with the slew mode, but it worked. No crash. Knock on wood, but I do have I rarely have crashes in P3. That's like unexplainable, so that's actually a good thing. Let's see. Before we start the boarding, I'm just gonna check quickly if I was able to get my documents here. and I do seem to have been able to do that, so that's nice. I hadn't tried that in a while. In terms of flight plan, I did load it in, so I'm guessing it's an option that you can load, but I really didn't want to. I don't want to do the easy way. I like to put it in myself, but I was hoping to see it here on the EFB, but maybe that's not possible. So what I'll do is I'll just use from the ACARS system that we have, and I'm gonna go into the online flight plan section just to check so we can get in the right kind of values. And now sorry, I'm moving my recording here a bit, trying to get it to the right screen so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to our FS Actions menu, then we'll do payload first. We have a zero fuel weight of 124.124.9. And then in terms of fuel, we have a fuel weight of 11,700, right? That must be it. Which sounds quite low actually. Could be correct though. We won't have much wiggle room with that amount of fuel. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, that is our block fuel. And it does have, so the trip is only 5,000. Shows how efficient these more modern planes are. I'm of course a bit afraid they're not taking into account this the non-winglet version, but so maybe we'll add a bit extra fuel. Nothing much, you know. You never get really the exact amount in reality either, right? Bit too hard to do that. Let me just check payload. We have a bit less passengers, but the zero fuel weight is correct, so that will work. What we'll do then is we'll start the boarding process. We have 150 passengers today, so I'm going to request boarding. We have 150 passengers. Let's just do the white American Airlines. We can have that gate connect to us. I'll also put on the PAC-X, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move it quickly here. And we have our ICAO codes that we need to insert, our flight number 8058, our cruising altitude 28,000, our flight time, just putting in some random numbers. We can have crew that we want to board. We are 737-800. That should be good enough. We can play some boarding music. I think I have something from Metro, and I have a safety at least from Metro. That should work. So let me see. There we go. Now we can start that. I think the volumes should be quite good, maybe a bit low. Let's see, they want us to open the doors, so that's why you're hearing a bit of beeping. So I'm opening the forward door and then the cargo forward and aft. I can just jump quickly on the outside so you guys can see. So nice GSX profile. Lining things up. You can see the nice scenery. Flightbeam makes some of the best airports. I really like their Denver airport. I'm also actually, and I just remembered the Las Vegas one isn't a Flightbeam airport. That's a Flight Tampa airport. But Flightbeam makes a lot of good airports, because I have their San Francisco one, and I do also have their Portland one. I think both of those are also Flightbeam, and the Denver one. So they do make amazing airports. So a shout out to Flightbeam. And also for Las Vegas, a shout out to Flight Tampa. And look at these clouds. This is why I got the Rex Skyforce to connect with Active Sky. This looks really realistic and almost on par with real volumetric clouds. So shout out as well to Rex Skyforce today. A lot of shout outs or shout outs. Let's align our INSS. Align. We go to nav. We can do this dampener on, because I usually forget that. We don't have any HUD, that's an option, but we don't have that set in or set up. We can close that. We won't be using the right EFB. If you look at the textures here, really nice. I love these the chairs, and I mean it's just nice. And you have some of the exterior modeled in the interior one. You can see the white here, so that's really cool. Anything else? Let me just check that my PAX X has started. It's quite loud. Is it the pressurization? Gonna guess that's the not the pressurization, sorry, the air conditioning that's sounding. In terms of what we can do, we can put on the anti-collision and the wheel well lights. And then, let me just have a quick look. We can arm the emergency exit lights. We can put the chime to on and keep the seatbelt sign off as of now. We know our altitude, so I'm just gonna put that in, 28,000. And then, what else can we do while we wait? We can here bring up the performance, just so we remember to put that in. And then we can start inserting our flight plan. So we go to init. I usually take the left GPS from here. I set IRS position, getting that alignment. We'll then go to route. I'll put in the Phoenix EKO and then put in the Las Vegas. We're flying runway. Let me see actually now. 07 left. Our flight number was met 3058. And I think you can also put it here on this one, right? Only 3 of them, right? So this should be 305. So that's pretty cool. And this is what I like about the PMDG. It's all these small things. Getting that oxygen test that works. You can try the lights. Get that to test to work. And you have the fire test. That one that works pretty well. And you have the cargo fire test. And it's just a lovely plane, the Boeing 737-800. It is one of my favorites. This is a tricky one. Do I prefer it over the A320? It's so hard to say. I mean, in some ways, yes. But then I have the FS Labs A320, and that's just on another level. That's a great plane. I must say, I mean, of course those get the most, but it's hard. I mean, apart from like a simulation standpoint, I guess the 737 is just, it's just so much history in it. Unfortunately, some bad history as well with the rudder issue back in the 90s, and then the MCAS issue in the end of the 2010s. But yeah, apart from that, let's see. I think we can also try this cross feed. That should illuminate a bit less, make sure it's working. So that's nice. I do have failures on, so they could happen. Sorry about that, but hopefully it doesn't happen, of course. We have galley and cabin this on, so that's good. We can put these pumps on so I don't forget to do that. And we'll need them, or we need one of them to start the APU, right? We'll continue then with our flight plan. We are doing the departure and arrival. And we are gonna be... I think you can change the setup on this CDU actually, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look quickly if we can do. Now I'm I'm really wasting time, but it would be interesting to see if you can, because I have a faint recollection that it is possible to change. Let me have a look quickly. Could be displays actually. I'm pretty sure there was something you could change a bit the FMC basically. Could of course be that I'm misremembering with another aircraft maybe that they do have potentially the 747, but I was pretty sure they did have something of that effect. Let's check options here. Simulation options maybe. Doesn't say it's equipment, right? But you do, I mean, this is what I like about the PMDG, like these options that they have. That's really cool. I'm just quickly gonna go back to aircraft, check equipment, to see a bit. It doesn't look like it. Oh well, it is what it is. We'll continue. We'll do departure. We'll do the SID, which is for Q7 left, Zepper 2, and we have a trans to RR SDA, route. We're doing a direct to LDA, and after LDA we are doing the star arrival, Arcster 3 to 26 left. So we'll do an ILS, 26 left, Y, and RX3R. Let's wait with these, if we want to set them up in conjunction or together with Pilot to ADC. And I'm gonna, cause I think I have the wrong call sign now. Yes, I had Metro. Or no, I didn't have Metro, I had Mahan, but now we have Metro. So now we can import our flight plan. Let's see how this looks. Looking good. We can do our SID first. Was a quite straightforward one if I'm not misremembering. Zepper. We had the trans. We can load that for now, and then the star. 26 left with the RX3. And for us it makes most sense to do the ELDA one. Yep, so that makes sense. So that's why, so we'll do the ELDA trans. And then let me see with the approach what it's suggesting. So if we do the Y, we have the Bourbon. If we load that, let's just have a quick look how it looks. Well, we can do this, I think. So Bourbon, and then we have the route. So I'm gonna move this away. That's good. You can see it showing up here. So we do have a flight plan, and now I'm just gonna quickly have a look, because I don't think we should. I'm gonna do it for my hardware one. It should go directly from Preno to Bourbon. There should not be any. So that's no discontinuity. I think this should all now be correct. I think the way you do it now is that you activate it and you execute it. We should of course double check it, but I am gonna assume that it's looking correct, and it does look correct. So that's good to see.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our
We'll go
flight.
back to map.
As you find your seat, be sure to place your luggage carry-on items in
Let's
the
turn on
overhead
the
bins and smaller
TCAS
items
system
underneath
so we
the
don't
seat
forget to do that.
If you have trouble finding a location for any of your carry-on items,
Radar
please
should
use the
be
flight attendant
on.
call button
We'll
overhead.
notice that.
Somebody will assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on
We can
inside
wait
it,
with
please
turning the
close
radar
bin
on
as a
for now.
courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put
What we
away,
then should
please
do
clear
is
the
go
aisle
to
and sit down in your seat to allow
init
other
ref.
passengers to find their seats as well. If you are
Potentially you
seated
could
in
have
an
put this
emergency
before,
exit row,
now that I'm
please
thinking
leave
of
the
it, but
exit seating responsibilities in the
oh well,
card in the seat
not
back
the
in
biggest
front of
deal.
you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform
Our
the
zero
actions
fuel weight,
required. If
we
you are
do
not
have
able or
that,
prefer
so
not to
that's
perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be rescheduled.
1.2.4.9.
Feel free to use your cell phone
Our
during your
fuel
boarding process, but we
is
do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other
12.2,
larger
that's
electronic
correct,
devices are sealed
I
once you
think.
depart. Thank you and welcome
But
aboard.
then our reserves are 2.3. These are final reserves. I'm not sure if that's what you should put in here, but I'm just gonna do it. 4.7 is our cost index. Our transition sorry, not transition altitude. Our cruising altitude is 28000. Our cruising winds. Oh wait, we can get the average wind. I think that should give us quite a good 310. That's 17. There we go. That's good. We can then, I think, execute that. Then go to N1 limiter. I think we can do a derated with one step. But now we should really do our performance check. So we'll go here on our EFB. Let's have a quick look how it's looking on the outside. Seems like the cargo personnel is ready. I'm not sure if we are getting any more passengers. Oh, they are still coming inside, so that's good. So here, we'll start by getting our airport, our runway. We have a dry condition. We can get our wind as well, which we should do. We can get it through Prepar3d as well. I'm just gonna connect to the sim there, but I'm gonna get it through the to active Sky 80s. I find that more reliable. Then we'll file the flight plan as well. That's interesting though. I'm not hearing the 80s. Let's have a look if the radio is correctly set up. It does look to be correctly set up. So I'm gonna go and get
Kilo Papa Hotel
pilot
X-ray
to
airport
ADC
information Gulf 165 0 weather wind 111 at 4 visibility 10 sky condition
4.
temperature 32 dew point 5 altimeter
Celsius.
2983 advise on initial
2983.
contact you have information
83.
Gulf.
There we go. So they gave us the necessary information. Thrust rating, the rated one.
Kilo
Flap configuration, we're doing flaps 5. Air conditioner on, anti-ice off. Our takeoff weight, which we will be able to get from our load sheet, should be around 136.1, 136.1. And our CG, we should get from here, if we go to FS actions, payload, 22.1. 22.1. There we go. We can hide the keyboard. We should have the information here. No rain, right? Doesn't look like there'll be any. I think these stratus or cirrus clouds. I always forget the difference between those two. We can then calculate. So this performance one will calculate, and we'll get a V1 rotation and V2 speeds, and our selected temp 43. So that is good news. You can go to N1 limitation. We have our selected temp. We have our takeoff. Flaps 5. 22.1. I like to do this check extra just to get these speeds here as well, even though it's not necessary, right? Because I have that information. 111.4 for the runway wind. We don't have any slope. Few airports in P3D has slope, and that should be enough. And then let's double check 135, 137, 142. So these are actually very much aligned. Let me go back to, sorry, now I'm using the wrong performance. And it's looking good. We can go to legs page, we'll go on leg page with this one as well. We will soon have our passengers boarded. And things are looking good still. So nothing out of the ordinary. Let me see, I'm gonna put on the parking brakes. I'm not sure why we have some of these interior lights on. We can close that. Looks a bit odd. Sorry, I'm checking the A-cars now, making sure that's correctly set up. We can go and close some of our doors. The cargo doors, right. Can't really hear Pack X. I'm almost wondering if something is going on. I'm gonna check in on them.
Hey, can we finish our boarding process a little
Looks like it's
faster back there?
working.
We'll see what we can do. No promises.
I'm gonna start the APU while we wait. What's our landing altitude? Let's have a look at that quickly. We don't need to look at the performance anymore. We can go to documents. KLAS. Load the document. Now we got some charts here. Oh. I wonder how this... Ah, it's working quite nicely. We want to get away from these stars, and we want to be getting into these... Oh wait, is this only stars? Did I... Ah, maybe I didn't download, no! I downloaded a bad file in this regard. Some good information though, but not the arrival routes. So that's a bit annoying. I mean, otherwise it's working quite nice, right? You can zoom in, move around a bit, so that's pretty cool. But okay, so we can't use that. We'll just bring the airport map instead. You can see. Let me change this to the north up map so we can move it around, just to check where we're taxing. 07 left, so we just do left. And let me get it back there. Okay. Now we have the APU started. Oh, wrong one. Those two. Then we can do these. These are on, looking correctly. Open. I think these ones you also do. We can do fasten seatbelt. Let's check what the boarding progress. Can't be a lot left.
Hey, how's boarding going?
1 minute, yeah.
We're still boarding. Let us know if you need us.
So let's see. can do the flight directors on. We're gonna copy or request request IFR clearance. Metro 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. Did we get anything? Metro 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. Now we're getting it. We don't need to have this open. You can put the barrel. These are synced. Flight level 240.
4003 Heavy is cleared to Kilo Lima
Squawk
Alpha Sierra.
4046.
With those the transition, then is filed. Climb to flight level
So we have the
240
squawk
via the
correct.
departure. Expect higher clearances.
We can close the doors.
Departure on 119.2.
I'm gonna ask the
Squawk
pushback.
4046.
So get the jetway disconnecting. That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 3058 with service to Las Vegas. Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours. Now
And we
that the
got
cabin door is
pushback.
closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices
Or the
are not
pushback
shut down and still.
option has
Please
opened up
fasten your
now.
seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure.
Metro
Cabin crew, prepare doors to departure,
4003,
verify straps, and stand by
ready
call.
for pushback.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And so we'll
Pushback
align that
approved.
with the GSX.
4003 Heavy.
What we can do on ground services is that we can disconnect quite a bit of things. We can remove the wheel chocks,
Departure checks completed.
and that way we'll get rid of the ground power as well, so that this one can connect and will just kind of disappear. Or at least the connection will. There we go. But look at this aircraft, just absolutely wonderful. Like the front on it, it's just a nice looking aircraft. Looks like almost a bit more sporty than the Airbus. But I really like the livery of Metro Air. It's a really nice one. The green. I could really see like a real airline adopting this. That's what I like about the virtual airlines. Sometimes when you're flying with some, like they have made a really nice livery. That it feels a bit fun actually to don that livery instead of just flying a real world livery. Let's see, nose to the left. Yeah. I'm gonna jump back in quickly and just make sure that we we don't have these services. We can go back to FMC. Doesn't seem to have an A-cars built in, so that's a bit unfortunate. Of course we wouldn't do anything with it now, but just good to know. Okay, they want us to release parking brakes, and I think we are looking quite good. So I'm gonna release parking brakes. Okay, all engines start at will. The problem, I need to check this altitude. But I'm gonna do that after we have started engines. I'm gonna start engine number 2 first. You'll see it's starting to spool up. Going a bit slow, but there we are. We're just gonna check that the sound is working, and it is. Yeah, we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
Hello and welcome aboard
Then
this Metro
I
Air
am
flight.
gonna try to find
Here at Metro Air, your safety and security is our highest priority. And we
where
would
I
like to
have
ask that you pay
some
attention while our
charts,
crew
since I didn't
demonstrate
have them
safety
in the
features of this aircraft. Whether you are
aircraft.
here for
Okay,
business
so
or
we're
leisure,
doing
we
2
certainly
6
hope you have a
left.
very pleasant flight.
When the seatbelt sign illuminates,
Airport elevation
fasten your seatbelt.
2181.
Insert the metal fittings one into the other and tighten
Quite
by
high.
pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, that's the upper portion of the buckle.
Let's do
We
2200.
suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the
I really
flight.
like the safety
Experience turbulence.
one from Metro.
Several emergency exits on this
It also
aircraft,
sounds realistic.
forward, aft, and over each wing. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some
Let's
cases,
see what's that. That's
the
probably a
nearest exit may be
Southwest
behind you.
leaving. Yeah, 737. Okay, please set parking brakes. Engine number 2 is stabilized, that's good news. I will start engine numero uno.
Which may also be detached and used as a life raft. Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you.
So let's see what happens.
Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate,
Oh,
oxygen
forgot
is
the
flowing
fuel
through the mask.
lever, of course.
If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist the other
Well,
person.
let's think, what else can we do? We'll just wait for that. They want us to confirm good engine start, which I guess we can do.
Please assume the bracing position
We'll ask for taxi clearance as well, so don't forget to do that.
against your thighs.
Metro 4003, ready to taxi.
Is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest.
Oh, didn't hear my request.
Over your head.
Metro 4003, ready to taxi.
Pull firmly on the ripcord only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpieces.
No, nothing? Okay, let's try again.
And light to attract
Metro 4003, ready to taxi.
pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. At this time, your portable
Let
electronic
me check if
must be set to airplane mode until an announcement is made
if
upon
I
arrival.
did it. It does look
This is a non-smoking flight.
config. Oh, that's why I'm having issue. It didn't save. I knew something was odd. Okay, okay, that's why. Now it's looking right. Metro 4003, ready to taxi. Let me see if I'm connecting again. No, I don't want that. I want Metro. Why isn't it saving? There we go. Let me just check if I have to copy the IFR clearance again. Okay, but at least some the noise sounds are working. Okay, we got the pushback. He left, kind of disappeared on us. Metro 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
The cabin is ready for takeoff.
Flight 240, squawk 6345. Okay, so a bit different. 6345. So the squawk was a bit different. Let's check. Taxi lights, runway turn of lights, the generators, the packs, Pido heat, APU bleed can go off, and APU can go off.
Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure.
Okay, looking good.
Departure on 119.2.
Again, armed outer throttle. And then we can arm the LNAV.
Altimeter is
And I think that should suffice. Outer brake should be on rejected takeoff. In terms of the trim, we should be using a trim of 5.3, so that's good to know. Let's, while we trim this one, let's ask for pushback clearance again. Metro 4003, ready for pushback.
Pushback approved Metro 4003.
Let's have a look. Nobody's going on our left and right. Metro 4003, ready for taxi. No, not engine start.
Engine start approved Metro 4003.
Metro 4003, ready to taxi. Yeah, now we got it. Okay, I'm gonna release the parking brakes.
Taxi to
quick look on the outside.
003.
Looking good, looking good. Just remember I didn't put that we have Wi-Fi on our Pack X, but I guess, you know, if you have a SATCOM doesn't mean you have Wi-Fi, right? Or that you offer it for your ones that are flying. So that was a Southwest 737, looked quite short, maybe a 700. Or an older version, 400 or something. We are taxiing quite a bit of speed though, we do not need to have that, let's throttle down quite a bit. Me being a bit rusty. How's our fuel situation? We have 11.8. We're gonna be burning about 500 just before we get to the takeoff. So fuel won't be in abundance on this flight, that's for sure. We can keep this off for now, nothing to look at anyway on the EFB. Weather radar goes on. We can do the same. Let's see. There we go. Now we have the same on both the screens showing. That's good, just to make sure everything is looking correct. Let's see, transition altitude is 18,000 feet in the US. Now I didn't look at the weather report too much, but it does look good. Just have a quick look through. Active sky, no clouds, no rain. Pretty warm, so it's looking good. It's always nice to see. We can turn to the left on the next one, I think, or maybe the next one after that. They don't have many AI planes, it's always a bit empty, which is a bit sad, but I just don't feel like the FPS hit is worth it with the AI planes. It's not that large though, compared to some other things like traffic, like having cars drive around. Let's see.
Tower on 118.7 Metro 400.
We can throttle down even more. Oh, I should have turned already, but oh well. I don't think we need the full cause of the runway for our takeoff, but well, I guess you can always burn more fuel. Let's ask for takeoff clearance as well. Metro 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, we got takeoff clearance. Let's have a look. Can you see like the light effects at all? No, it's too light outside. They're really cool with the immersion parallel 42 treatment. So we put the landing lights on. Taxi lights we can go off. We do position strobe and is it steady? Strobe and steady, yeah. Instead of just steady. It does look clear. I can't see any other aircraft, so that's good. Let's not forget to do this one. Seatbelt signs on. Because I don't have them automatically doing it for me. We can turn to the left. Get out on this runway, 7 left. Let's do a public address as well.
From the flight deck, this is your first officer speaking. Welcome on board our flight. We'll be departing soon and we're aiming for a smooth flight. Thanks for flying and we'll keep you informed of any changes as they happen.
And let me have a quick look now. On or crossing runway 07 left. We are a bit delayed, but... Oh wait, I forgot to set the flaps before we... That's never a good sign. So let's go flaps 5. And I think... Oh, now we're going flaps 10. There we go. Okay. Now we can spool up. I think we have it here. There we go. N1, toga. Okay, we are taking off. Quite a bit delayed. Hopefully fine. Let's see. $100 knots, 120.
V1.
Rotate. Okay, let's watch out for the tail strike. And we are climbing beautifully. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up. You can see here beautiful mountains close to Phoenix, Arizona. Let's pitch down a bit so we can start removing those flaps as well. We can basically remove them completely and turn off the runway turn-off lights. We can put on the ENAV, I think, as well, so we get some lateral and vertical guidance for our flight director.
Departure on 119.2 Metro 4003.
Let's fly this one. As you can see, I have disabled the joke on my side, so I don't have to see it in front. That one is showing the inputs at least. And look at the beautiful Arizona. A bit of a desert place. Let's see, we're a bit... We're a bit off course. Bank angle? We do have LNAV, but for some reason it didn't. I'm just gonna do it like this then.
Center Metro 4003, climbing flight level 240.
Sorry about that, we shouldn't have gonna had to do such a steep turn. I'm not sure how it missed that, we were driving just by it. I need to trim this plane now. We climb a bit too extreme. Here you can see beautiful Arizona. Oh, we should be below. I'm gonna put autopilot on. Let's see if it can kind of maintain us here, so I can just focus on making sure everything else is looking alright. Okay, we haven't got any weird. We're a bit off course due to that that autopilot failure. Probably me flying a bit too much to the left and it just didn't register that.
Descend and maintain 900,000 feet Metro 4003.
Yeah, we're we're a bit above what we should be, so we should actually be descending. That's correct by ATC. But no biggie. I really like the living airports autogen and the scenery. It's just a good, and it runs pretty well. It's not as good as True Earth, but it's like, I hope they do a bit more. I think they have Alabama as well, and Arkansas. So I'm probably gonna buy those at some point once I get tired of flying here in the western US. But yeah, look at this livery, really nice. Yes. I hear you, but it's a bit too late now. Oh, it's because we have speed on, not VNAV. Oh god, that's why it wasn't obeying. I'm guessing I put on VNAV when we were breaking it, so then it just...
Contact center on 125.4, center metro 4003.
I'm just switching the... Let me see if... Okay, it looks like we're on the good again with the ATC, even though we were breaking some laws there. I think I can already put this up to our cruising altitude like we usually do, because we are gonna be getting the clearances up there. Top of climb, it's not gonna be a long flight, this one. So I think what I'll do, let me see, we're gonna pass 10,000 feet. We'll put landing lights off. Wait to have a look, we're now gaining speed and then we'll start climbing again. So let's see how this goes. So we're a bit delayed, hopefully we can make up some of the lost time. At least we get to fly with these beautiful, a bit damaged or a bit non-maintained wings. Look at that engine. I mean, they do make beautiful textures, PMDG. I mean, compared to the black box, which I thought has good, this is just next level. That's really nice looking. And just generally really nice looking hull on this aircraft as well. I can really take beautiful pictures, even in P3D, which might not be most known for its beautiful graphics. Let me just get back to my normal viewpoint. So we are on our way to Las Vegas. As you can see, we're surrounded by Phoenix and or to the left Phoenix and then Arizona, the state. Why is it? It's flying VNAV, but it's flying it super slow. Why not faster? Is it because we can't climb faster due to the specifics of the Satan star? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do level change and then VNAV. Let's see if that kicks the VNAV into. Yeah, now we're seeing the VNAV come back to life. So just some bugs on my end actually. I'm gonna go into standard already, even though we're not above 18,000 feet, because I'm gonna take a quick break once we climb, and I'm gonna give you some nice viewpoint. I have one I really like that's almost like you had a camera in the cockpit. My inspiration from some videos I saw online, like this maybe. zoom out a bit. Like that. Perfect. This is looking pretty nice. Let me just look at the recording still doing well, which it does seem to be. Quite a noisy plane, this one, but good. I'll be then back shortly. Enjoy the view in the meantime. I am back. Let's have a look. Well, we haven't gotten that far. We are still climbing. Now it seems like we are finally reaching our climb altitude or our cruise altitude. Let me move the camera a bit just to see how it looks. But yeah, we're flying right above. Would this be Grand Canyon kind of area, or are we maybe a bit to the west of that? Probably a bit to the west of that, right? That would be a bit east, northeast from this. But probably not too far from it. But you can see there's not a lot of roads or things happening out here. This is truly empty area. But you can see there's some nice canyons here. So let's jump in. I don't think there's an inside cabin. I forgot to check that. Let's just quickly show. I don't think they have that. Yeah, you can see they have kind of a lot model, but not really the cabin. So that's a bit sad, but I can see why they would do that for FPS reasons. Let's have a look. It's not far now. It's a bit over 80 nautical miles. Our top of descent is before Jean, which is the same as it is in Prepar3d. So that's good to see that they are in alignment. You can hear the ATC discussing in the background. Let's see if there's some interesting flight sim news lately.
Starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in the feedback for a list of
Let's see,
complimentary
nothing
premium drinks are
interesting. I know there was the releases of the Microsoft Flight Sim 24, some pictures and stuff. Looks great. As expected, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that regard. Anything else? Fly Sim Sierra 24 right or R is being released, so that's some for some general aviation. Just mostly news surrounding Microsoft Flight Sim 24, which will be releasing, is it next month or a month after that, so very interesting. Let's see if there's anything else. There's a new airport for, is it Melbourne or, let me see, yeah, Melbourne for PTD version 5 coming and 6, so that's nice to see. Some development. Let's have a look here. Still looking good with our flight plan. We'll have an aircraft passing above us somewhere around here. Probably miss it just about. It's about 20 nautical miles. We will need laser vision in order to see that one. Let's see, I'm not gonna do the performance. I don't think there's any need to do that. You do have the option to do a performance calculation as well for landing, which is, you know, good. Of course you should do that, but I'm not gonna bother. I mean, this one does the same. This automatic one saves a bit of time and headache. But what we can do is have a look at 26 left and just make sure that we get the right data for the ILS. So that's 1 triple 11 or triple ones dot 5 is the nav one. So now we have that. We can put that to active. In terms of course, and let's see if I can tweak that with my multi-panel, which I can. That's 259. Oh, it doesn't work so well with multi-panel tweak, so I'll just do it in the sim. 259. So now we have the approach in terms of the ILS setup. Then we need to look at our, so we're doing an ILS 2269 is the barrel. And I think this one should be much quicker. I like the system they have for the PMDG 737 in this regard. It's quite quick to get up to those really high numbers. You can just kind of scroll up, and now we're almost at 2000. 2100, 200, 69 for our reference. Let me see. Top of descent is coming up. What descent clearance did we get? 8,000 feet. We can put this down already to 8,000 feet for our VNAV to kick in. Always nice to fly these airplanes where you know things will usually go like you expect them, apart from what we saw with the beginning. But that could have been my fault, so that's always good to remember. Sometimes, you know, things do happen because of your own mistakes. In terms of the auto brake, let's do 2. I think that's quite normal operations. Didn't seem to be any crazy weather. I mean, I haven't really seen. There's been quite few clouds. I mean, almost none to look at. And what else? Oh yeah, we forgot to put the clock on. I'm gonna put it on now. Oh, it's bumping a bit. That's interesting. And why is that? Is that clean air turbulence? But look at the wing. Look at that thing flexing. That's looks pretty good. Oh, was that it? I mean, I've toned down a bit some of my earlier videos. You can have a look at the MD-82 one. I mean, that was some crazy turbulence. See, sorry guys, just got an email. Just reading that quickly. Now we're soon getting, you can see kind of where Las Vegas, Nevada is starting. The color is a bit different. It's a bit lighter. This more dark one is really good because it fits really well with the True Earth one of Orbex. You really don't see the separation that clearly. Nevada, it's a bit more clear. It's a lighter palette of colors. So wait, we have a look. We're still descending nicely. As we're doing that, I'm just quickly gonna go and check a thing. So I'll once again leave you to watch my aircraft. We can call it a joint collaboration. I'll be right back. Okay, my virtual co-pilots, I'm back. We do still look like we are surviving. They are asking us for drag though, so we need to heed the call. Add some drag. Gonna change a bit the viewpoint as well. We should put on our altimeter setting, which is 2997. We can do that through 2997, right? Let's double check just to make sure we're not Yes, that's perfect. We're below 18,000 feet. Let's decrease a bit the view. It's looking good. I still think we're nicely on track. Not much has changed. Soon have to turn off the landing lights. Let's have a look at our passengers. Descent, it looks sort of satisfied. Can we request something from our flight attendants? Green, snack, generic, restroom? Nothing of interest. I was thinking there was like a prepare for landing, but I couldn't see it. And what else do we need to do? I don't think we need to do anything, but we can set this up as well. I mean, we're not doing an auto land, so there's no real reason for doing that, but I think it gives us the option at least to do an auto land if we would want to, but I doubt I will. It's too much fun to hand fly the PMDG plane. And this is actually, now that I'm thinking of it, this is the last PMDG plane that I haven't reviewed. I mean, I haven't done all the sub variants and stuff, but in terms of like the complete family, this is the last one, which I hadn't yet done in P3D. We only have the DC-6, the 777, the 747, and the 737. Of course, 747 has the new variant 747-800, so I guess in that sense you could say there's still one more. But yeah, still quite eerie. Sucks that they never released the BAE Jetstream for P3D version 4. Let's see, does it want the drag anymore? Does it need the drag? I think we can cut the drag and let the engines, we don't need to burn fuel. We're over at 6.8. We don't have a lot of fuel left to finish this. I mean, we can. My god, it's so little fuel. Let's hope this will go alright. We'll basically be able to tax in. So we are slowing down, but it's the throttles that aren't yet retracted enough. We're almost at 10,000 feet, so just as a precautionary, I'll do the landing lights. I guess those also add a bit of drag. Oh no, maybe they don't. They're not drop down in the sense.
Approach on 120.45 Metro 4003.
And
Approach Metro 4003 descending to 8,000 feet.
what else? What else do we need to do? We have our... we didn't do the performance.
Continue descent line beyond
We can do that, I guess, whilst we wait, though I said that wasn't necessary.
transition Metro 40.
25 left. Has that been updated? Maybe I have all information. Okay, KLAS. Dry. What's the wind? Can't be that much wind. 0, 0, 0. My god, talk about having no wind at all. 31 in temp. 29.97. So let's see. 0, 0, 0. For the wind. 31 for the temp. 29.97. Flap configuration. We're doing full. Air condition on. Anti-ice off. Calculate 147 with a VREF add 5. So 135 For this one's asking for drag to be added. We need it. Yes, we do seem to need some drag. Let's add that. Because we do need to. Quick turnaround times is 7. Okay. Okay, good to know. I love this that when you're pressing the buttons you can actually see them being pressed, so that's always cool. Always cool to see. You even have some pilot utilities like a scratch pad where you can just like type stuff, which is really nice. Then of course the ability with the documents and then the charts, having Navigraph integrated, so that's pretty cool. Now let's see here. I think here is a good, trying to figure out where the line, well here I think you can see the mega scenery compared to the living airport, and then you can see there's some bugs with that water. And here we have a dam. I think I've seen that in a couple of movies. It's quite a big one. But yeah, not the best with the mesh here. And let's see, we're gonna be turning in here. So we're doing like loops. And now, I know we don't have the charts, but I do wonder if there's an old chart. If we did have the stars. So I'm gonna go out a bit. Let's see if we have some. No departures now. Maybe there wasn't back then. I think this is old. Probably 2014 or something. Unfortunately. Just wanted to check if they have this turn that you gotta do. Drag required after bourbon. Let me see, are we gonna get any? Continue descent via the arrival. Transition. Okay, that means we can continue descent, right? 3,800. We do not need to have drag now, we're just gonna be bleeding off more fuel than we can afford. I'm thinking also one problem is that We've based its flight plans on other people's flight plans. So if someone does a bit of a crazy flight plan, then you can get up with these really low numbers of fuel, or low amounts of fuel. Landing lights are on. You can see we're driving so low, so in order to keep, or driving at such a low speed, so in order to keep our lift we have to pitch up a bit. So we're probably burning quite a lot of fuel. And here you can see we're coming now. You can see Las Vegas to our right here. We'll do a bit of a turn. So soon we'll turn left. Just do a little bit of a twirl and then get back. Anything that we need to be aware of? We have no wind. That takes out quite a big factor in terms of mistakes. Anything else? Nothing that I can think of. We got the ILS clearance now.
Cleared for the ILS approach to runway 26 left with Prepar3d transition Metro 4003.
And anything else? Now we're just gonna do our turn now over this beautiful landscape. The organized American suburbs. The US truly is the country of huge suburbs. The funny part is that Las Vegas almost looks a bit like the capital of in the, what's the movie called, Dune, right? Out here in the desert. Even though that one would probably be, if it was the Dune car, would probably be arrested at like kind of the mountain. This one is more like in the flat area between. Drag required after Hogo. I doubt we'll need drag, but let's see. I need to remember to call establish on final. I do sometimes forget that. Hey, now we have some. I'm gonna check that. We have some small amount of time here. So Cirrus, Stratus. What's the difference? God, hard to say. Doesn't seem to be such a clear-cut difference. I guess Stratus is the lower clouds, right? But you can have zero Stratus that are the higher ones. So I guess this could be defined as, I guess, Cirrus, possibly zero Stratus. Okay, let's have a look. We are really close to coming in on our final approach. We can go flap 1, I think. Let's get ready to drop. So we're coming in from the other direction now compared to my TFDI MD11 video. Where I think we came in from the opposite side, so to speak. You can go flaps 2. We're a bit high, not by a lot, but a bit. Flaps 5. Descent path unachievable.
Altimeter is 2997 tower on 118.75 Metro 4003.
Let's force it with the vertical speed.
Tower Metro 4003 inbound for ILS.
We can drop our landing gear as well, just to get some drag. So you'll see the landing gear dropping beautifully. And all are green, that's perfect. Runway turn-off lights on. We are a bit high, as you can see. We might be able to drop just in time, but let's see. I'll go to flaps 10. Let's increase a bit our vertical speed. We have a pretty good visual. We're not taking a huge risk here. Even though I guess you wouldn't do this in practice. What's that? 3,800. Still quite a bit high. Let's turn off the auto throttles. Soon we are getting there. Let's go flaps 25. Flaps 30.
2500.
Metro 4003 established on final. full. I can add some throttles
Clear
now.
to land runway 26 left Metro 4003.
There we go. We can disconnect the autopilot. We'll add quite a bit of throttle because we will need to stabilize ourselves a bit. We can put on the approach. Need to add quite a bit of thrust. Now it's looking quite good. Bit to the right, maybe off, yeah, a bit to the right of the localizer. So let's get back on that. In terms of descent and in terms of the reference speed, it's looking good. I guess it said 147 through the performance calculator, but this should be good enough. We can arm our speed brakes. We need to descend a bit more. So pull back on the thrust reversers a bit. Up the most stable approach. But within the limits, I'm gonna trim this plane so we don't have to pull back that much. 400. 300. We don't wanna land too hard either because the planes do brake with Metro Air. They have their own system for that. 100. Minimums.
30, 20, 10.
There we go. Quite a smooth landing. Oof, got another plane coming right in our direction. It's gonna be a crash. Luckily, the AI is we both survived. Thank God for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas.
Well, that doesn't
The
look
local
to be
time is
correct
1:31
procedure.
PM, and it's currently about 87 degrees Fahrenheit.
I wouldn't have tried to drive off at this one, but I
Remember to use caution when
didn't want to
opening
crash
overhead
into that
bins, as
plane.
items may have been shifted during the flight.
I mean,
Thank you for
though
flying
it was a bit immersion braking, that it was. I should have just. You see, what you can do with UT Live is you can just go and reset it, and then it disappears, right? So I should have just done that. But hey, at least we got a cool. That would have been a cool shot to take a picture of. Okay, we can remove the parking brakes, remove the flaps. We'll start the APU while we're at it. Let's ask for taxi. Metro 4003, ready to taxi. Getting that ground handoff, which makes sense.
Ground on 121.1 for taxi clearance. Metro 4003.
What's going on? The engine is showing a bit of a deviation. Now they're looking more reasonable. They were not really in sync. Metro 4003, ready to taxi. Taxi lights on, landing lights off. We don't need the strobe. We're gonna keep steady. Taxi to gate 21. I'm not sure where that is actually. Gate 21. I don't think we have a map to see. We can maybe look through ChartFox. Gate 21. Could that be one of the... Trying to figure out... Gate... we'll just take one that's available. Now we're crossing a runway, so we should have put on our landing lights again, just to make sure we're visible, but oh well. Now we have the APU coming on, back online. shut the engine once we don't get double bleed. Maybe we should park here with the rest of the Southwest 737 families of different aircraft, or we can park somewhere completely different. There's an, I guess 717 maybe of the Delta Airlines. We'll park here with the Southwest. That's close enough. Well, one thing that would be cool if you could add like your own AI, right? So I could add Metro Air and see some, you know, AI of my virtual airline. That would be quite a nice addition. Let's see which gate this is. C14. C14. Now request I'll follow you. Let's just do Frontier Airlines, because why not? We'll turn to the right here. Let's see. Oh, we can follow that one, right? 35. Ah, it's putting us on the right. We have a bit too much trust. Stop there. Parking brakes is set. Shutting engine 2. Shutting engine 1. There we go. A bit too far, unfortunately. We didn't crash into anything, luckily. And here we are, flight Tampa, Las Vegas. Look at that, look at those beautiful scenery. Flying a beautiful aircraft, 737-800. The non-winglet version. I don't think this one is available in Microsoft Flight Sim. That's quite interesting, actually. But well, minor things. Let me just check now quickly. We have a ride. We have stopped the engines. I have stopped engine 2, engine 1, parking brake, blocks on time, and then I think what I can do is end flight a bit delayed during taxi. Delayed during taxi and flight. I like to put some notes sometimes. Oh, the flaps were set quite a bit. Taxi fuel use, taxi out time, landing rate 239. Let's see if that's aligned. And now we're filing the PI-rep. There we go. We can close this now. Let's bring forth pilot JDC. Seatbelt signs off. Deboarding and flight 255. Okay, so a bit hard maybe, or not the smoothest landing of them all, but not a bad landing overall. Let's go and have a look at the landing then. Maybe 400 seconds should be enough. It was a bit close, 430. Should give us ample time to assess. So we were flying, beautiful Las Vegas landscape. Coming down quite nicely. Let's see what we can see in the replay. The replay function isn't always the best, but it does work. Oh, we just missed the main touchdown, but we came down quite firm and nice. So I don't think anyone will complain about that. And on the center line as well. And then we stopped here, right? And this just shows how quickly these can stop once they have to, right? And then we're turning right here. So yeah, the 737-800. Hope you enjoyed that video. there's not that much left to do with Boeing now. There's a couple of aircrafts, like the Max and some of the classics, or Jurassics, right? The 737-200 Advanced by Captain Sim, and maybe I'm doing another one with Milvis just to show a full flight with that one, because it does deserve to be shown flying a full flight, because it's a good aircraft. Maybe with an FMC. I'm trying to incorporate the ISG gauge on that one, so let's see how that works. But oh well. I hope you enjoyed this flight. Was a pretty good flight. Some interruption in the middle, having to go and answer a work email, but I think it was otherwise a pretty successful flight. Nice landing, and it's a fun plane to fly, the 737-800 by PMDG. So no complaints from me. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I am always happy to respond. If you have any requests of videos to make, also feel free to suggest that in the comment section, and I'll happily comply. Thank you guys, and have a good rest of the day. Goodbye.